Hey guys, Level Cap here, and welcome to another episode of This Week in Gaming. A major update is on the horizon for Battlefield 5. Today we got a preview of what's to come. The annoying plane noise glitch has been fixed, or will be fixed. The boy's AT rifle is getting one extra bullet that it can keep in the chamber. The bipod detection has been improved to be more reliable for all weapons. Aura resupplying has been added to the ammo crate. Both medic and supply crates can be placed on vehicles and driven around. Aura resupplying and healing will also reward the medic or support players with points. AP mines got a ton of tweaks to make them less annoying. Only 2 AP mines can be deployed by one person. They now despawn when you die. Going prone before they detonate will hopefully negate all damage. TDM layouts have been reworked on 4 maps: Aerodrome, Devastation, Narvik, and Fiel. The next map coming to Battlefield 5, Al Sandan, may be delayed. It was initially scheduled to debut on the 27th, but a bug that crashes the game was discovered specifically in the Conquest matches. Smaller modes like Conquest and TDM don't seem to be affected. DICE will be updating us on Monday regarding the map's status. Right now, it looks like they will either fix the crash issue on Conquest and launch the map as intended, launch the map with smaller modes enabled, or delay the map entirely until everything is sorted out. Regardless of what happens with Al Sandan, the patch and Chapter 4 of Tides of War will go live with the new weekly challenges, unlocks, and more on the 27th. The Halo Master Chief Collection's first closed testing event is set to begin next week on PC. Some registered Halo insiders will be invited to try a build of Halo Reach, the first Master Chief Collection game set to release on PC. The number of people invited will likely be on the small side. Before E3, 343 streamed a section of Reach's campaign to showcase the work they've done so far. It looks very promising, though many features like uncapped FPS and FOV slider are still in active development. The past few months have been very exciting for PUBG players. The devs revealed a work-in-progress remaster of the game's original map, Erangel. Many areas of the map, like prison and power plant, have been totally reworked. Visual improvements have been made across the entire map to bring it more in line with standards of the game's more recent maps. A build of the remaster was available on the game's test server for a limited time. It should launch sometime later this summer. PUBG's most recent update is currently on the test server. It adds the classic Desert Eagle pistol, a new armored vehicle, the BRDM2, a ledge grab system, and an Apex-style ping menu. Gas cans can now explode when shot, doing damage to anyone in the blast radius. The ledge grab system gives players way more flexibility in how they get around the map. Rooftop vantage points that were previously inaccessible can now be climbed up with relative ease. How this will ultimately affect the meta and balance of PUBG is tough to say for now, but it's sure to cause a significant shift. The update also includes some performance improvements and a bunch of bug fixes. This weekend is stacked with free game trials. Insurgency, Sandstorm, Killing Floor 2, and World War 3 are all free to play on Steam right now. Sandstorm recently got a major update that added a remaster of the original game's most popular map, Ministry. The update also includes a mode called Frenzy Checkpoint. It throws zombie-like enemies at you with melee weapons and Molotovs. There are also some special enemy types like flamers, bruisers, and jumpers that can explode, have a ton of armor, or can teleport. Sandstorm's 6-month roadmap was also updated this past week. It includes a level editor, 2 new maps, night versions of all maps, new weapons, hardcore rule sets, 2 new modes, new cosmetics, and more, all to be released by December. That said, the order of these things releasing is kind of up in the air right now, and things are certainly subject to change. Killing Floor 2's free-to-play weekend is to celebrate its recent Back in Kickin' Brass update, which adds a new map, Steam Fortress, and objective-based mode, Transport. For more details, be sure to check out my video for the update. There are 2 new weapons and a bunch of other things to check out. And then finally, with the free releases, the modern tactical shooter World War 3 is free to play this weekend following its Warzone Giga Patch, which adds 2 new maps, 2 new weapons, 4 new vehicles, and made a ton of improvements to the game, including a new server browser for finding matches. Hexen-inspired shooter Amid Evil has left early access. The game throws you into worlds full of unique enemies and gives you an arsenal of arcane weapons to deal with them, including one that launches planets. If you're a fan of classic games like Doom, Duke Nukem, and Hexen, this might just be the game for you. It's got a blend of challenging combat, bosses, and environmental puzzles. Amid Evil's publisher, New Blood Interactive, have also picked up Maximum Action, a game that launched on Steam Early Access last year. They've been working with the developer to overhaul the game from the ground up. It doesn't have a full release date yet, but it was recently updated with some of the overhauled features. CSGO is celebrating the 20th anniversary of the Counter-Strike franchise with a port of the game's most famous map, Dust 2, from its 1.6 days. The classic map switches with the current version between rounds. Free-to-play shooter WARFACE just got an interesting expansion. Players fight across Mars against AI enemies with a co-op mission that lasts about an hour and has a big boss fight at the end. WARFACE launched as a fairly standard modern military shooter some time ago, but has gotten more experimental ever since development was shifted from Crytek to Blackwood Games, an independent offshoot of Crytek. A development update has been released for Project Borealis. The game is a Half-Life 2 Episode 3 fan game based on the former lead writer of the Half-Life games, Mark Laidlaw's Epistle 3 blog post. In it, he gave his vision for what Episode 3 would have been. Project Borealis looks very promising, especially for a fan project. They showcase progress on level design, physics simulation, gameplay features, character models, and more. Some key things are improvements on how the gravity gun functions. Star Wars Battlefront 2 is getting a big update sometime this month. It adds the droidicas from the prequels, a new tank from the Galactic Republic, the TX-130, and an updated appearance for Anakin Skywalker. Since announcing their new roadmap for the game late last year, Battlefront 2 has seen a bit of a resurgence. It's finally getting regular content updates that adds new maps, modes, and more on what is basically a monthly basis now. Lack of content was a big factor in the game's early months, aside from its incredibly divisive loot box system. ARMA 3's next expansion is taking things in a weird direction. Called Contact, it's set during the first contact with an alien species. It includes a sci-fi campaign and a huge list of new assets that can be used in the rest of ARMA 3. Contact comes with a new map to explore, and players can expect to fight a highly organized alien force. The expansion launches on July 25th. I'm personally interested to see how the fan base of, well, for the most part, pretty hardcore mil-sim players react to a sci-fi theme. Black Ops 4's Weapon DLC has been a massive point of contention for players as it locks most new guns behind a loot box system. To alleviate the situation, Treyarch are adding ultra weapon bribes to the game. Basically, if you own any version of all the black market guns, you can get an ultra weapon bribe with a guaranteed Mark II weapon, Mastercraft, or other variant that you haven't already unlocked. It seems like a bit of a band-aid on a bullet wound kind of fix, so who knows if players will be satisfied. Gears of War 5 is dropping the Season Pass model. All DLC maps for the game's post-launch will be free to all players. They'll also be fully available in private matches, unlike Gears 4, which required the Season Pass for that functionality. Gears 5 is also dropping loot boxes in favor of random rewards given out to you as you play, with no option to buy them. However, XP and supply drop rate boosts will be available for sale. Gears 5 launches on September 10th. Apex Legends received a network-focused update this week, giving players more control over which data center, aka region, they connect to for matchmaking. The list is sorted by ping and will be more intuitive to interact with. The client send rate for user input data has also been increased. Apex currently has an issue where inputs get split across multiple updates, which can lead to problems with how accurate the server registers players' actions. While it's unclear what increasing the client send rate will actually do, it's still a welcomed improvement. And that wraps it up for today's episode of This Week in Gaming. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know which story you thought was the most interesting down in the comments below, or if there was a story you think we might have missed that you found interesting. I'll see you guys next time. This is Level Cap, signing off.